What's the one thing you dread more than a speeding ticket? Buying the wrong car. That's right. Not every muscle car out there is a dream machine. Some are overpriced money pits, others are plagued with reliability issues, and a few are so underwhelming that owning one feels like a betrayal to the muscle car legacy. In this video, we're uncovering 5 muscle cars you should absolutely steer clear of. Whether it's a poorly executed comeback or a victim of bad timing, these cars have earned their spots on the blacklist. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more no-nonsense car advice coming your way. The Ford Mustang is one of the most iconic names in muscle car history, but even legends have their off days. And for you, the Mustang's 1978 version was definitely one of them. The Mustang II King Cobra was Ford's attempt to inject some excitement into a lineup crippled by emissions regulations and fuel economy mandates. On paper, it had potential: a V8 engine, flashy decals, and a name that promised venomous performance. But here's the truth. The King Cobra was all bark and no bite. With just 139 horsepower, it's a far cry from the power and speed you'd expect from a muscle car. To make matters worse, the build quality was dismal. You'd be dealing with cheap interiors, rattling panels, and handling that felt more like a shopping cart than a sports car. And let's not forget the styling. While some appreciate its retro charm, many see it as an awkward mix of muscle and disco-era kitsch. Parts availability is another issue. If you're looking to restore one, prepare for a scavenger hunt that'll test your patience and your wallet. The King Cobra represents a low point for the Mustang, a car trying to cash in on its name without delivering the performance or quality expected of it. If you want a classic Mustang, there are far better choices from earlier or later generations. When you hear the name Camaro, you probably think of tire-shredding V8s and sleek, aggressive styling. Unfortunately, the 1982 Camaro Iron Duke is none of those things. It was Chevrolet's attempt to create a more fuel-efficient Camaro, but in doing so, they stripped the car of everything that made it special. Powered by a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, the Iron Duke produced a laughable 90 horsepower. To put that in perspective, your modern compact sedan like the Honda Civic has nearly double that power. The performance wasn't just underwhelming, it was downright embarrassing. Acceleration was sluggish, and handling was uninspired. If you wanted the thrill of driving a Camaro, the Iron Duke left you sorely disappointed. Reliability was another sore spot. You'd likely deal with overheating engines, oil leaks, and failing gaskets. While later Camaros redeemed the name, the Iron Duke remains a cautionary tale of what happens when performance takes a backseat to fuel economy. The Iron Duke is a lesson in compromise gone wrong. Its lack of power, reliability issues, and poor handling make it a car that fails to live up to the Camaro name. When Pontiac announced the return of the GTO in 2004, you were probably thrilled. This was, after all, the car that kick-started the muscle car era in the 1960s. But when the covers came off, your excitement might have quickly turned to disappointment. The early 2004 GTO models, while powerful, suffered from a range of issues that made them a risky buy. Under the hood, the GTO was equipped with a 5.7-liter LS1 V8 engine producing 350 horsepower. Sounds great, right? The problem wasn't the engine, it was everything else. The car's design was bland and uninspired, looking more like a rental sedan than a muscle car. Inside, the build quality left much to be desired, with squeaky plastics and a lack of the premium feel you'd expect for the price. Mechanically, the early models were plagued with suspension issues and alignment problems, which made for an unrefined driving experience. Later models improved with the introduction of the LS2 engine and updated styling, but those first-year GTOs remain a gamble. The 2004 GTO's lackluster design and mechanical flaws overshadow its engine performance. If you're set on owning a GTO, go for the improved 2005 or 2006 models instead. If you've made it this far, you're clearly serious about making smart car choices. Help us keep bringing you valuable content by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Got a muscle car horror story of your own? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. The Dodge Charger Daytona is a name that commands respect, but the 1976 version is a major exception. By the mid-70s, the muscle car golden age was fading fast. Rising insurance costs, stricter emissions regulations, and the oil crisis forced automakers to rethink their designs. Unfortunately, for you, the 1976 Charger Daytona ended up being more of a land yacht than a performance car. Weighing in at over 4,000 pounds, the 1976 Daytona was a bloated shadow of its former self. Even with a V8 under the hood, it struggled to deliver anything close to thrilling performance. The most powerful engine option produced just 225 horsepower, hardly enough to move such a heavy car with any authority. Handling was sluggish, and fuel economy was abysmal, even by 1970s standards. To make matters worse, the styling didn't do it any favors. While some fans appreciate the unique look, you might see it as an awkward mix of muscle car and luxury cruiser. The 1976 Daytona fails to deliver on performance, style, and efficiency, making it a poor choice for anyone seeking the classic Charger experience. On paper, the 1995 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra R looks like a dream car. A 300 horsepower 5.8-liter V8, a lightweight body, and track-focused engineering make it a standout in Mustang history. But here's the catch. This car was built for the track, not the street. And if you're looking for a practical muscle car, the Cobra R is anything but. Only 250 units of the 1995 Cobra R were ever made, making it incredibly rare. While that's great for collectors, it's a nightmare for anyone who actually wants to drive it. Replacement parts are nearly impossible to find, and when you do, they're outrageously expensive. But the real deal breaker is the car's lack of basic amenities. Forget about air conditioning, a radio, or even rear seats. Ford stripped all of that out to save weight. The result is a car that's brilliant on the track but miserable to live with on a daily basis. Unless you're buying it as an investment or strictly for track use, the 1995 Cobra R's impracticality and high maintenance costs make it a tough sell. And there you have it. 5 muscle cars that might look tempting but are better left on the lot. Whether it's lackluster performance, high maintenance costs, or just plain bad design, these cars prove that not all muscle cars are created equal. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more car content you can trust. Got a car you think should have made the list? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.